Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is March 27th, and today we're going to take a look at that thunderstorm threat for the Pacific Northwest today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, this is going to push off into the east, eastern Washington, eastern Oregon, and Idaho. Today, you can see this extends up towards I-90, includes the Mount Rainier area, Highway 12, even the Portland Metro, east slopes of the Cascades for Oregon, and the Cascades for Oregon as well. And just clips Eugene down there. So heads up, if you're out here, you might see a lightning strike or hear a rumble of thunder or two during the afternoon, mainly evening hours tonight. And then overnight tonight, looks like there's a signal for some convection across mostly the Oregon Cascades here. This could move up into the southern Washington Cascades as we go. So taking a look at what's going on here, you can see the storm system developing and moving into California. That's going to bring them their much needed precipitation across the region, snow for the higher terrain, of course. And some of this flow aloft, there's cold air coming in here, and this flow aloft is going to be defluent and kind of help organize a little bit of thunderstorm activity across the region tonight. I was going to go out there and maybe try to take some pictures, but I haven't decided on a target yet, or if I'm going quite yet. The models are in some disagreement about what's going on here. So taking a look around the rest of the country right now, there is a severe weather threat for Tuesday and Wednesday across the Central Plains and then the Southeast. We'll take a look at that in a little bit of detail. Winter weather advisories going up for the Sierras as that storm system moves in. Some wind advisories around as well, and there's still some winter weather concerns with that lake effect snows going on across the Great Lakes. Checking out the thunderstorm potential for California, you can see that does include Sacramento, Stockton, and this goes on into Nevada a bit too. So there is a general thunderstorm threat for Monday into California as well for small hail, brief, heavy downpours, and lightning. And going on into, you can see this severe thunderstorm threat for Idaho, eastern Oregon, Washington, western Montana as well for Monday. This is for Monday. Now, checking out Tuesday, you can see the slight threat across the Great Plains here. The system doesn't look very dynamic, but it still could bring some severe weather. And as we go on into day 4, you'll see a more substantial threat across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama here for Wednesday. So this is Los Angeles. Check it out. You can see that gusts 25 to 40 miles per hour, some pretty good rain even down to the lowlands. And they talk about the minor mud and debris flow near recent burn scars. So heads up if you have concerns down there in Southern California. And Las Vegas has an interesting way of producing their rainfall here. They talk about it's not a big deluge coming, but they do talk about an 83% chance of a few sprinkles. A little bit of measurable rain is possible, but kind of an interesting graphic there for the Las Vegas National Weather Service. They did set a record there in Las Vegas yesterday, 93 degrees, all-time record March high. It looks like you're going to get pretty warm again today as we put this into motion. You can see upper 80s again, and you can see the desert areas getting to the 90s as well. Death Valley's right here, probably up towards 95 in Death Valley today. So another warm day if you're heading down to Vegas, and that's going to cool off quite a bit as you go into Monday with even a thunderstorm threat for Las Vegas. So here we are looking at the extended for the Pacific Northwest. You can see that system diving into California here. That's what's going to bring us our thunderstorm potential here on the north side of it as we go into Monday. And then as we put this into motion, you can see that transient ridge. And then another system moves through Wednesday. That front's been trending a little bit weaker for the Pacific Northwest. There's some cold air associated with it. Might get some convergent zone activity and maybe some thunderstorm potential with this system as well as it moves through the area. Can't rule it out here going into late March and early April. And then you'll see some more troughing open up over the northwest here for next weekend. And then you'll see that Gulf of Alaska low still showing up in the models in the extended here. Watching for any potential mid-latitude cyclone development on the southern periphery of this. We are out in fantasy land at this point, but there does seem to be some model agreement with this Gulf of Alaska low being pretty persistent here going into early April. So checking out here, this is the European 18,000 feet temperatures here. You can see this cold air associated with the storm moving into California, and you can see that cold air does open up over the Pacific Northwest too. This troughing, that's going to bring us our thunderstorm chances tonight and on into tomorrow. And then you'll see that cold air move through as the next lobe comes on its heels going through Wednesday. That's going to bring us our thunderstorm threat through the day and evening Wednesday, and possible convergent zone activity for western Washington. So checking out what kind of temperatures we can expect today across the Pacific Northwest. Check out eastern Washington, nice and warm over there today, up into 70, mid-70s. Looks like the Puget Sound is going to get warm too, up towards the low 60s. Get out and enjoy that nice warm air. Look at the Willamette Valley up into the low 60s as well. So checking out here, this is the NAM3KM. This is currently this morning. Look at the instability build as we go through the day today. This is this afternoon and evening. You can see some pretty good instability over the Oregon Cascades, moving into the Washington Cascades. But models have been in some pretty big disagreement on where these showers are going to form exactly and where these storms are going to form. Some of the, we'll go into that. I'll show you the information in detail, but you can see here's the profile for the NAM3KM, quite unstable. You can see this would be the parcel of air lifted, and it would be warmer than the surrounding air, so it would be free to rise. There is some decent instability, and there's even some good shear aloft. You can see the winds at the surface are weak, so I don't expect any kind of severe weather, but there could be some organized updrafts and some thunderstorm potential around the Cascades today. Now looking here at the NAM3KM, as we put this into motion, we'll go on into this afternoon. You can see some thunderstorms possible here west of Yakima over the Cascades, Mount Rainier, Highway 12. Looks like it pops those up, and then it moves those north across of I-90 here into this evening. And then you'll see perhaps some deeper convection bubbling up over the Oregon Cascades here as we go into the midnight and overnight hours here. Go into Monday, and you can see that thunderstorm potential for eastern portions in Idaho, western Montana here through the day Monday. And check out that helicity track with that storm there too. Maybe a more organized thunderstorm moving through the southwest Idaho area there. But now take a look at the HRRR model here, and we put this into motion here, and the HRRR doesn't really show anything developing, just the very slightest of showers moving through eastern Washington on this evening, as some convection does come up through the southern Oregon Cascades here. And then you can see the overnight hours. It does show this near the Mount Hood area over the northern Cascades. But yeah, so you can see the model disagreement between the NAM and the HRRR there. Now let's look at the RAP, which has another story. It does show this convection down here over Highway 12, Mount Rainier area on in through this afternoon. You can see that bubble up towards Lake Chelan, but it's got some pretty good precipitation amounts. This would probably be some convective activity here moving across the North Washington Cascades. That's not really included in that thunderstorm threat, though, on the SPC. As you can see, as we go into the evening hours, that convective potential does begin to build over the Oregon Cascades and maybe move into the southern Washington Cascades overnight. So kind of an interesting deal here where the models have very little agreement going on in through just this evening. Here's the European lightning potential. You can see this lightning potential pop up this afternoon. Southern Washington Cascades as we get towards 5 o'clock after. You can see towards Mount Rainier, looks like maybe a chance for some lightning strikes. Monday, you'll see this convective potential even increase there through southwest Idaho as we go on into Monday in eastern Oregon. So still trying to figure things out if I am going to go out today and look for a lightning strike. Here's the SPC kind of showing that highlighting that the threat is after 0Z, so mainly this evening and overnight tonight is the main threat for some thunderstorm potential. This is for Boise, showing that precipitation potential as they go on into Monday evening. This is 24-hour total here, and generally light amounts, but it does show that thunderstorm potential. Now, looking out towards the Great Plains, I wanted to kind of highlight this. The more substantial severe threat is going to be for the southeast. Looks like the moisture return isn't great up into the plains here, but there's probably going to be some severe weather as this moves through. But you can really see that shear here at 5,000 feet really pick up across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama here. So heads up if you have concerns down there. There's a chance for a significant tornado or two through that region here on Wednesday. Now, I like to show this one too. This is showing that moisture return. It's this system moving through California here, and you can see how this trough draws that moisture up. And you see the dry line setting up across western Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. Put this into motion. You can see some moisture gets back up ahead of this, but it's not very deep. And notice that the moisture is deeper by the time Wednesday rolls around. Much deeper moisture is in place and better wind shear. So that is where the more substantial severe threat is going to be as this system moves across the lower 48 states here. Now, looking way out into the extended here, I was trying to see if there's any hint of a windstorm. Just, one or two ensembles kind of has some gusty winds for SeaTac with that Gulf of Alaska troughing. But for the most part, it's not zeroing in on anything significant. And it is way off in Fantasyland. So we will continue to watch that off into the extended here. But anyway, look out for this area today. This is where the SPC is highlighting this thunderstorm potential for the Pacific Northwest today. So if you're out, enjoying that nice weather off in the mountains on a hike, watch out for those clouds building and watch out for that lightning potential for the region. And one more look at the water vapor look here. So we're going to have nice warm temperatures across the Pacific Northwest today. So get out and enjoy that. Maybe a few light sprinkles across areas of western Washington and Oregon today. And some pretty warm temperatures into eastern Washington, eastern Oregon today as well. So get out and enjoy that weather. And if you guys get any lightning shots tonight, send them my way on Twitter, Seattle Weather Guy. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.